Theorizing that one could travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Becket stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Becket finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
The Fantasmagorium show proudly presents In the Loop, a Quantum Leap celebration. The episode that shall not be named. They call it the Halloween episode. That is the curse of this leap. You know why? Al is the devil. And Sam leaps into Bugs Bunny dressed as a girl. You'll get it. I think her name's Darlene. I am Scotty R37. Antiderivative Jill is here, and Steve will be calculating the odds on how Ziggy gets us out of here. Jill, how are you? And welcome back to In the Loop.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am so jazzed because I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do today. There's like crazy forest fires happening in the entire atmosphere, apparently. And I was like, you know what I want? Scott Bakula. And so I turn on the Quantum Leap and I'm like, I feel better about everything. Someone will make right what once went wrong.
Yeah, and they will, and they do in these episodes.
It's incredible. It makes me happy from the theme song to the performances. This show makes me happy.
Me too. It really works.
Okay, maybe I'm gushing. But how did you find this week's episodes?
This one was really weird. This first one, it's kind of unclear exactly what's going on. If it's a unreliable narrator kind of thing, or if it really happened and it's a different timeline.
Well, this first episode, and I suppose I should clarify, you're the one who brought it to my attention. I knew this episode was haunted. The Boogeyman.
Yeah, the Boogeyman. I don't mind.
It's like Voldemort. We're not supposed to say it.
Fear of a name only enhances. Yeah, so.
But what is
I'm
the
not
history?
worried about it.
What is the history?
The history behind why people are afraid of this.
Why they don't say its name. They call it the Halloween episode. They do not call it by the title.
I think Simone has the right idea. Something hinky is going on.
Hinky?
Al uses that word in the episode, and it doesn't. He never uses words like that.
Well, like for a little bit of foreshadowing, and this is just legend. I don't necessarily have like a lot of the facts to back it up. I'm hoping to discover those facts with you, but this is the first instance of hinting towards evil leapers.
Oh, is that what this is a indication of? Because
if
this is the first time, I didn't know that there was going to be more.
There's gonna be evil leapers.
So this episode first aired near Halloween of 1990, and surrounding the airing of this episode, weird things happened. This episode has the highest incidence of VCR cable local station failure than any other episode. So VCRs would cut out while people were trying to tape the episode. Local stations and cable companies dropped their signal, and even mention it by name is supposed to be hazardous for your health or your life, apparently.
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman, yeah. So one particular fan lost his job and his access to the internet. I don't really know.
Well, that probably was through personal action.
Right. Probably because he lost his job and couldn't pay for his internet anymore.
Well, I don't know the specifics of it, but I would say, like, that's not a curse. That's not haunted.
No.
That's just a guy.
Right.
Like, if I, lost my job and my internet, would you say that I was haunted or cursed?
No. I don't know. No, it's just a thing that goes around.
I guess.
It kind of makes things a little more fun to think about. I think it's kind of funny.
But was that the only instance of someone being?
Oh, Simone says it's like the Scottish play. You must never mention it by name.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. I'm going to be struck by lightning in my basement apartment. And Dalek
is here.
Hey, Dalek. Hey, man. You're a quantum leap expert. I'm gonna do this and see if you would care to join. Is that cool with you, Jill?
Absolutely.
He is an expert.
He's an expert, and like you said, quantum leap makes people feel better, so maybe it'll make Dalek feel better too.
Oh man, it's totally true. I hope that works. Hang on. I'm gonna tweet. But like when it comes to this episode, it is very strange. It is.
It's out of the ordinary.
You brought up unreliable narrator, but this is why we've always been sort of fighting with the idea as to whether or not this is a soap opera or a science fiction show, and we give it so much soap opera.
There is a lot of soap opera, but this one is more supernatural.
Supernatural, but also there has been the introduction of the way that Sam leaps through time as having a supernatural interference of its own.
And so it's a merging of the genres.
It is, but with a plus that you would get from, the big guy who's directing all of our stuff, making sure our leaps are correcting to make right what once went wrong. And now we're seeing the pushback, and we are in the third season, which it makes sense that we would get a more tangible villain or some sense of a villain. There you go, Dalek. If you care to join, you're more than welcome.
Oh, Dalek might be better at this because if this is an indication of villains, I watched this show such a long time ago that I don't remember recurring villains like leaping or taking Al's image and abusing it to manipulate Sam.
It isn't used in that way. This is the pardon me. I'm blaming the smoke of Canada. So,
right.
but it isn't. It's more of the. I think we should talk about this episode before we hypothesize further.
Okay. Well, this episode first aired on October 26, 1990.
Did you say hi to Matt G?
Oh. Hello, Matt G. He says, Jill, and I say Matt G. So,
hey, Matt G. So you were saying?
Yes. This episode first aired on October 26, 1990, just in time for Halloween. It was written by Chris Rupenthal and directed by Joe Napolitano, who's directed a bunch of Quantum Leap episodes so far.
Mm-hmm.
Sam leaps into Joshua Ray. horror novelist. On Friday in October,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
a horror
Oh,
novelist.
I thought, okay. I thought he was a horror novel.
Oops. Okay. It probably did sound like that. In October 31st, 1964.
He's not. He's engaged to be married, so he's not a horror novelist. He's a horror novelist.
In Coventry, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
And I also kind of like the TV guide synopsis that I find on Al's Place.
Dude, yes.
So Sam creeps into a horror novelist on Halloween and finds he has only a ghost of a chance to save the life of his fiancee, Mary. And then they list the actors. Mary's played by Valerie Mahaffey.
Yes.
The sheriff is played by Paul Link. Stevie is played by David Kriegel. Tully is played by Donald Houghton. Dorothy is played by Fran Ryan. And of course, Sam is Scott Bakula, and Al is Dean Stockwell.
And Valerie Mahaffey. Valerie Mahaffey is a prolific character actress throughout television and film. I know who she is. I'm pretty sure I saw her on Cheers. But she has been on so many things. If you are a fan of television from 2000 and before, you know who Valerie Mahaffey is.
Do you know who she is?
No, I know her to see her. I can say 11 things. I would be like, hey, it's her. But I don't. And the only one that I can think of right off the top of my head is Cheers. And I don't even know what character she played.
But she's familiar to you. You see her.
Very
like,
much.
I know this person.
She's just like a, yeah. She is in everything. Like she's been at Seinfeld, Cheers, Dream On, LA Law, Wings, Caroline in the City. She was in Jungle to Jungle, Ally McBeal, The West Wing, Law and Order, Seabiscuit, the movie. She was in Frasier, Without a Trace, CSI, Crime Scene Investigations, Boston Legal. Like she's been in everything. So if you are a fan of people and it's like, I know that lady, she is one of them.
She's been in an episode of everything from the 90s.
Exactly. If you go to a buffet of television, she is in every serving.
Well, not every, but she's in quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
That's great. She's prolific.
She is. And I just wanted to give her a big shout out. I may not know her names, I may not know her characters, but she is always a person. It's like, yeah, I know her. And she's a comforting presence.
Yeah.
Same with Fran Ryan. Fran Ryan, who plays the old lady who gets killed by the Black Mamba.
Fran Ryan. Oh, yeah. She is nice. She needs help carrying the silver candlesticks.
The top 4 things that she has been in, she's been in Stripes. She was Bill Murray's passenger at the beginning of Stripes. Apparently, she was in Pale Rider, and she's been in a couple of other things. The top 4, I realized that only 50% of them were, yeah. But she was also in Night Court. She was in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, the TV show.
Yeah, that's a great cartoon. Love Chippendale.
Anyway, I apologize. I'm going off. She was in Murphy Brown and Mrs. Belvedere. Mr. Belvedere. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the haunted house, we have a man in a cape wearing glasses, and his name is Stevie. He is the one who has frightened Sam down the stairs. And he is like at the very beginning of this, even before the credits, Sam is frightened down a flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
and he lands at the bottom. And at the beginning of this episode, he is awoken. It's October 31st, 1964. Jill,
Yes.
what's happening now?
What is happening now? Oh, we're learning about Joshua is going to get married to, what's her name in this episode?
Valerie.
Valerie. And they're setting up a haunted house. They're going to have a haunted house for the church. And they're supposed to have fun.
Mary. Her name is Mary.
Her name is Mary. Oh, not Valerie?
No, the actress's name is Valerie, but the character's name is Mary.
And so,
Stevie's
very, very early on in the episode, you see that they're linking this Stevie to Stephen King. And Stephen King actually granted permission for his name.
Oh, I was wondering.
Name used in this episode.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's several references in this episode to Stephen King novels. Like when they mentioned the flying knives. That's from Carrie.
Is it? I'm not a Stephen King fan.
And Sam drove a red Plymouth Fury.
I thought that was Christine, right?
Yes, that one's Christine. They do mention that in the episode. Cool. And then, of course, the easiest one for everybody to get is the fact that he has a dog named Cujo. Did Stephen King really have a dog named Cujo?
I don't know. George Lucas had a dog named Indiana.
He did? And so it's possible.
It's correlative, but not necessarily related.
I'd have to double check this information.
Either way.
But there's another Stephen King movie and book, obviously. I've never seen it or read it. The Langoliers.
Oh, the Langoliers.
It's not a reference in this episode, but Dean Stockwell was in this movie.
Oh, I see. Well, and the Langoliers, I think, is about aliens. I'm not sure.
I used a different method for screen caps. So every once in a while, you'll get to see my Windows little start screen.
You should probably turn that off in case there are passwords present.
No, there are no passwords. It's fine.
How dare I question your internet security?
Well, no, it's good you question it, but if I had passwords in plain text on my start screen, I would be doing something very wrong.
So this is where we find out that Joshua is an author. And Mary is saying, how are you going to kill him? And Sam is like, I don't want to kill anybody. But it's like, well, you're going to have to.
Yeah, so usually in Quantum Leap, it's all about Sam trying to save someone. And just people start dying randomly in this episode. It's great.
It's not even randomly. I was surprised. And I was going to ask you after Tully died.
Right.
So, spoilers, Tully dies.
Well, okay, maybe not randomly is the wrong word, more like quickly.
I was like, I have never seen so many people die around Sam that he was like, it's not my job, or I wasn't good enough. Like, Ziggy is always on top of the job of saving people. This episode really puts you ill at ease because you're like, how are so many people dying around Sam? What is his job here?
And that's what Ziggy is supposed to find out, but Ziggy doesn't seem to be very much help in this episode. And you don't realize it. You don't realize why that's the case. You wonder if there's some kind of virus going on at the
monkey lab.
Yeah, with Gucci and everything. He messed up the code somehow.
Not Gucci. No, Gucci. Leave Gucci out of this. He gets pushed around. Ziggy. It's Ziggy's fault. Ziggy is not providing enough information.
Right, Ziggy. And
you know what I'm going to chalk it up to a little extent? And this is why I think it's more sci-fi than sorcery, is that both Evil Al and Good Al they have proper Ziggy hand links. They get my favorite hand links. Yeah.
Right. That's another thing. This episode is the introduction of the hand link that is all colorful. Looks like little blocks.
So anyone who's actually watching this, the people who are on a screen right now, they are arguing about how they're going to be setting up the spooky house.
Yes. Also, she's helping him think of ideas on how to kill a character that he's writing about for his novel.
True.
And I didn't notice the first time around, but when I realized that things were kind of a dream or maybe didn't happen, I
Was it
was
his
wondering.
jacket?
I was wondering why is it that this lady, Mary, who says she loves all this spooky stuff, and she gets it wrong. The Salem witch trials, she says that people were burned at the stake, when in actuality, they were hanged.
Mm-hmm.
And so, maybe is that a clue that there's something wrong going here? Because
I don't know.
if she's so obsessed with this stuff, she would get something like that right.
I also I would like to put it in the context of when this was originally aired, and this may be some people's only introduction to the Salem witch trials. This is the only thing they know, is this one episode of Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there are people who are intrigued by that story, and obviously it being a Halloween story in 1990, there's probably a bunch of Stephen King floating around. That's why he's included. But I don't think you're relying on the knowledge of experts. I think you're informing those opinions as you move forward.
You mean not everybody's made to read The Crucible by Arthur Miller in school?
I've never read it.
No. I did.
What's it about? Witches?
It's about the trials, the Salem witch trials, the 19 people who were hung and hanged. Why do I keep saying that wrong?
No, you're good, because you always correct yourself. I love this cane.
It is. It's pretty cool.
It looks like the what is it? Time's Arrow canes from the aliens who steal souls. So anyway, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
No, it says for 900 years, but that was totally impossible, thought Carter. Curses weren't real. Everyone knew that. This was nothing but damned native superstition. Even so, his hands trembled as he pried off another piece of the rotting tomb. Fumbling in fear, he lifted his lantern, peered inside, and gasped. An eel of smoke slowly slithered through the sockets of the moldy skull, an evil from the beginning of time.
Do you like that?
It's okay.
I think it's okay. It's flowery, but I like it.
It's fun. I don't know. I'd have to read more. I just felt like reading it now. I didn't read it earlier.
No, but did you get the no, we'll encounter this as we continue, because there are more pages to be written.
Right.
So anyway, there's Creepy Weirdo.
Oh, I liked this while you're watching the episode. It's kind of funny because there's a little kitty cat, and the guy starts to talk, and you get a sense that the cat's talking, but of course it's not. It's the guy at the window.
Yes. Oh, no, and this is a lot about misdirection in terms of the direction of the episode. It's really well set up. And then when you find out what it is, it's like, okay. I wasn't even angry. So.
Oh, did I miss the mirror reveal? There was a mirror reveal.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe.
I think I
Yeah,
did.
they went outside. Anyway, he kind of looks.
Oh, we missed a mirror reveal, but if you go back and see, I did get a slide of it, I think. Chris Rupenthal, one of the writers for the show, is Joshua's mirror image.
Who does he look like?
Let's see. Let's see if I had it. Also, welcome, Dalek.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Scotty.
Hey, man.
There
There he is. There he
Yeah.
is. That's what Sam looks like.
That's the writer. That's the writer of the
Joshua.
episode.
Is it really? Is that the guy who played him?
Yeah, no, this is the guy who wrote the episode.
That's
The
crazy. Well, and he's apparently like he's the person who's haunted and cursed.
Yeah, definitely. Throughout the course of this dream or alternate dimension or whatever it is.
So, Dalek, I have to ask you a favor.
Yeah.
Can you say the word boogeyman?
Boogeyman? Why?
I would like you to say it with a little bit more authority.
What, like authority?
Say it like you mean it, man.
Boogeyman.
There you go. So, yes. This is Tully. We don't know him for very long.
Them that dance with the devil are bound to get squished.
Exactly, which is a tip-off as to what happens later. Someone knows something about this leap. Either way.
Oh man, this episode is so weird.
It's so weird.
It is. There's a goat. And so immediately you realize, look, some devil imagery. Like I did notice that at first. I did notice these kind of but I didn't put together what any of it meant.
Why are goats of all things associated with the devil?
Horns.
Well, okay, I suppose that makes sense.
I don't know. That's a guess. Like, I'm not saying authoritatively. But, like, this is something where, like, the goat shows up and I'm like, okay, that's weird. But you didn't question it at the time. Like, when you were watching the episode, it's a spooky house that is kind of all occult, and they have a goat. And I was like, okay, they have a goat.
You just think it's a murder mystery. And
anyway,
until they say that, until everybody denies the existence of the goat. And I think the reason why it's associated with the devil is something in the Bible, but I'd have to read my Bible to remember.
But we all know what your Bible is, and it was written by Gene Roddenberry.
Oh, yeah, okay. I meant the actual Bible.
Oh, the Jesus Bible.
Yeah, that one. The Jesus one, yes. So there's the first death.
Yeah. Like, but that was really jarring for me watching this episode and seeing Sam there and a guy dies. And I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Sam either kills people or saves people. He is not an innocent bystander to seeing other people die. That is not a thing. But Al is very unhelpful in this episode, and we will find out why.
Extremely. In fact, he misdirects.
He's aloof.
Him.
He does misdirect. Makes me very angry. There were even moments that I really liked about Dean Stockwell's performance as Al. And then when I realized he wasn't playing Al.
He was playing the devil.
Well, I don't think he... I don't...
Demon Al, then?
We'll get there when we get there, but I don't think he's playing the devil. I think he's playing an... I think he's playing an evil leaper.
Oh, right. A second-rate H.P. Lovecraft. That actually sounds like a compliment to me, because H.P. Lovecraft is so good that if you're second-rate, then you're all right.
But one of my favorite things about that, when he says you're a second-rate H.P. Lovecraft, Scott Bakula's performance is, am I supposed to know who that is? Because don't forget, Sam Becket still has Swiss cheese brain. He's not going to remember H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, does he say he doesn't remember it?
No, but he tries to grasp what Al is saying, and he can't. He doesn't know. He's like, you're Joshua Ray, and you are second-rate H.P. Lovecraft. And Sam does a thing where he's all confused, and he's like, "What? I don't even know. What?" But then at the end of the episode, Al says, "You're a second-rate horror novelist," and Sam gets it.
Yes. That
But
makes me
it's the H.P.
But he
Lovecraft
also gets it because
short
he just had a
circuit.
crazy dream about it.
The
Or
HP
an alternate dimension.
If you have the opportunity to watch the episode
Time
when Al mentions H.P. Lovecraft, Sam is like, I don't know. I have no idea what you're referring to.
Ziggy has no clue either.
Ziggy has no clue throughout this whole episode. Al, a man is dead. There is a black mamba snake in this house.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
just
like to
hanging
say-
out. Nobody's worried about it. Nobody says,
Nope.
"Hey, do we need to get this dangerous snake that could kill somebody out of this house?"
Who
No.
feeds it? Her? Are snakes always girls?
Well, Al, not Al, whatever you want to name him, Devil Al. I don't know what else to name him.
Deval.
Deval. He feeds the snake.
He does, I guess. Like a lot of this, I kind of want to skip through a lot of this and get to the important plot points because this is like a dream.
No, but I like the fact that.
Well, then please take the helm, Commander.
Well, I can skip, but I do like the fact that if Sam doesn't know about H.P. Lovecraft, he at least knows Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
And so somebody types, we know already, it is Evil Al, or not evil, Devil Al.
A second letter. The guest tugged on the rag?
A second later, the goat tugged at the rag. Tully toppled off the ladder and crashed to the ground. He never got up again.
It's, yeah. And Sam says, I didn't type that.
Mm-hmm. And Sam also went through the logic that if he were the murderer, then just by leaping, he could avoid being a murderer by staying in that person's body long enough. So he should be able to leap after the danger of him being a murderer has passed. So that's how he knows right away he's not the culprit.
Well, and also, they're trying to make it so that Mary doesn't get strangled at the spooky house.
Yes, that's the reason that Al gives.
Yeah, Debal.
Deval.
And then there's this lady from Stripes.
I thought it's kind of funny. Mary says about something that Tully did. I was so mad I could kill. That way, you think somebody might think that maybe Mary did it when she talks like that. But obviously she's joking. But it's just
But there is a certain level of trust between these two people because even Sam or Joshua says winning a woman like that would make a lot of enemies in this town. And Dorothy says, yeah, maybe that old Strickland boy, but I think that she got the better man. So it's not like there's an animosity towards Joshua. He's a crazy magician kind of guy, but people he's not a villain in this town.
No. He's just a little spooky.
I am getting caught up in this fantasy that comes this will come to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Simone says, evil.
Like the fruits of the devil.
And hello, Edgetime.
Hail.
He says, the further off from Lovecraft, the closer is to Poe.
I don't care for Lovecraft. We still have to. I was told that I had Lovecraftian homework.
That's true. We do need to talk about that sometime.
I want to look it up, but I haven't done it. Hey, what's the name of that like octopus monster?
The Cthulhu?
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
So anyway, meanwhile, back in the haunted house,
And back with the silver.
a lady goes into the kitchen, gets bitten by a poisonous snake, and dies. So
and has a heart attack at the same time. So
well, I think that it's correlative. Maybe it's a comorbidity.
Well, the vision of the snake gave her a heart attack, but then the actual snake bit her, also causing the death.
So she died like 7 times.
At least twice.
At least twice. All right. I don't like, you know what? And I have given many kudos to Al's wardrobe. But I think the first thing that made me like standoffish with Al this episode is that his wardrobe is very subdued.
And that is probably on purpose, since we're not with the correct Al.
And when he shows up, yeah, anyway. So everyone is
you're very fashion sensed. So you know,
well, especially when it comes to Al Calavicci. So but yeah, so they fight, they have conversations, and then all of a sudden a skull flies across the room, and Mary goes into a convulsion, all the while being antagonized by not a Calavicci.
Well, because Deval is trying to convince Sam that she's the murderer. That
yes,
she has to have done it.
But she starts, and even like it's a weird, like it's a medical response, is that Sam takes off his belt and puts it in her mouth so she doesn't like, and does it as like, you know, when don't bite your tongue off kind of thing.
Yes. And here, I don't know if this is just because he's in a dream or a different timeline, but Sam believes in psychokinesis.
It's probably the dream. I'm going to say the dream.
Okay. So don't ascribe any beliefs that Sam has in this episode to his true beliefs.
Well, wait, hang on a second before you move on too far. We are talking about a show with time travel.
Yes.
Are you saying that a universe with time travel within the confines of the fiction of this television show, are you saying that telekinesis under the right physiological conditions is impossible?
I don't see how it is possible. I would like a logical explanation for it.
Have you had a logical explanation about time travel within Quantum Leap?
Time travel is impossible in reality. So that is something that you have to concede in order to have a
time travel show.
At least time travel to the past anyway. You can time travel to the future if you can get close enough to the speed of light.
Quantum Leap rules of time travel are really good, actually.
And if they want to start adding, well, okay, I guess, let's see. If they want to start adding stuff like telepathic powers, then that kind of, the science behind it needs to be established like it is in Star Trek, where you know that Vulcans have telepathic powers and what they mean, and that they're not powers, that's their biology. So it has to be biological. It has to be explained biologically for me to buy it, and that's not a thing for me just yet in this show.
Okay, and I get your reservations, and if I can just offer one more like cracker. just to say this is my perspective, is that I do appreciate that Sam considers telekinesis
True.
because she has a seizure. And it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's real, but if you do it, there could be physiological reactions, and this is indicative of that.
And the proof is a skull flew across the room. Why did that happen? So it
Because
becomes
she
a
was
mystery of that.
because Mary was attempting to attack Joshua, and she is very in tuned with such physiological disciplines.
Or Deval did it.
Or the Debal. Well, no, but that's what we find out. The Debal did it.
966 Salem Avenue. More references.
Yeah.
Women in
Well,
Hollywood.
and the funny thing is that so it says 966, and it is when Al goes through the door that it drops to 666. Al is the devil.
Yes. Because he's walked through the threshold. Sure. Why not?
So anyway, they wander. Oh, right. They're looking for clues right now because the sheriff. Oh, and when we talk about the bingo, this is like both of these episodes. Sam does not care if he's talking to Al in public.
No, he doesn't whatsoever. He doesn't care about looking crazy in either episode. You're absolutely right.
He's just like, I'm done. I'm talking to Al whenever I want. I am going to be a person with an earbud walking through a grocery store as far as you're concerned. I don't care if it's 1972.
And Al continues to try to make it seem as if Mary is the killer, even though Ziggy says that Ziggy says that she's going to be the victim, she's going to be strangled. But no, what if she's strangled because she was committing a murder and that person strangled her in self-defense? And so that's what Al says. And then there's some
there's
church drama.
Yeah, well, no, I don't care for the banter between Al and Sam because it's not genuine because there's obviously a barrier towards
There's no reality to it. Yeah,
there is no reality to it. And so now we get a little bit of gumshoeing between Sam and the sheriff.
Yes.
And I liked this. Because it was characterized as a person who was a mystery novelist going up against a sheriff of a town, and it's like, okay, this is kind of a cool battle of wits. And we see that he has his matchsticks, and earlier when there was a black mamba, there was a matchstick, and so Sam seems to have pieced it together. He thinks that it's the sheriff in the ballroom with the lead pipe.
Matchsticks.
So anyway, Sam goes back to Mary. Oh, pardon me. Joshua goes back to Mary, and she's still, a little bit spooky. Like there's still unsettling going on, even though they are reconciling, and Sam knows who he's supposed to rescue. It's Mary. And that's his primary concern.
Yes,
but
now
throughout all of
he's
it, everyone is being just out of sorts.
Right. He's realizing that he can't really rely on the things that Al is telling him at this point.
Does he do it in a voiceover, or is that just implied?
No, it's just implied because
makes sense.
He's talking to Mary as though he's definitely on her side, and Al keeps telling him that she did it.
Yes.
He's like, I'm not
Yeah.
buying this shit.
Yeah. Oh, and wait. So anyway,
Oh,
goats,
cat. Black cat.
Pumpkinhead.
Halloween thing. Number 7.
Stevie's here. And he looks, you know what? This is just such a bad. I just think that they should have recast the guy who played Stephen King.
Oh, you don't like
I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. David Kriegel
Yeah.
or Kriegel.
I thought he's
My
okay.
mistake. He was fine, but I'm just saying you could have found someone better. I don't even know what year is this again? 1964?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, I don't know. It is October 31st, 1964. All right. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, Stevie Kriegel. David King.
Ooh.
I saw a goat. So anyway, they crashed the car.
You don't have any cats. So the cat isn't real. What's going on? So mysterious.
And the implications of this.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes through the books and finds out all the things.
And then Al repeats the line that Tully said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
Them that dance with the devil are bound to get scorched.
Can I do it? Can I try?
Sure.
Okay. Them that dance with the devil are bound to get scorched.
Great.
I could probably do it better. We could both probably do it better.
I could do better. I could do it much better.
Yeah, you could do it better. You could do it much better. I couldn't.
No, yeah, no.
Not better than you.
No, because yours was perfect.
Okay, let's stop. We'll figure it out. We'll make ringtones later.
Zippo. He never says Zippo. That's another word that he doesn't say, because earlier Simone said hinky. Something hinky is going on. And Zippo. Those are 2 words, because Al does have his little sayings and little words he uses, but those aren't them.
But here's my theory with this episode, is that I think that this is an interception of Sam. I think that this is the first representation of technology taking over the Quantum Leap project. This is the first step on base to say, maybe we can sabotage this. Maybe we can take control of it.
Oh, you think Sam had something to do with what happened?
No, I don't think Sam had anything to do with this, but let's go. Let's keep going.
The evil leaper did. The evil leaper is intervening?
Dabal.
Okay. Yeah, he absolutely is doing something because...
Right, but I don't think it's supernatural. I think it's technological.
Okay. That would be great if it were. Although this episode doesn't get into that, so I'm glad you are.
So anyway, we see the sheriff himself. He's shot in the face. And Sam does a no.
Right, because now the sheriff, who he thought he was piecing together that the sheriff might be the murderer, and then the sheriff dies, so it's not the sheriff. So everything's going into crazy chaos for Sam. I'll be right back.
Yes, he will. And so this is crazy. But Sam is essentially without clues. He knows that Mary and the sheriff, he does say Mary and the sheriff, are they in the house? Says that to Stevie right outside of this house. Stevie says yes. And it's like Why did you ask for the sheriff? You just saw him shot in the face. So I don't know. Maybe he's under the suspicion that someone is in control. I do need assistance. It seems that everyone is
What do you
sort
need
of...
help with? I could only move the slides for a minute there.
No, I understand. No, you can please continue your
Yeah, I do.
extras.
Yeah, I do.
I'm just this meeting and Sam's entrance to the house seems strange, very lumbering, very... I don't... Oh, what do you call it? Like in a zombie-like state, in a trance, if you will. And I'm like, does he know something? What did he figure out? The last thing that I saw him do was yell no around the sheriff. But now he's come back to the spooky house and he's like, get away, Stevie. It's my time. Is Mary and the sheriff in there? And it's like, you just saw the sheriff. Sheriff was dead.
Yeah,
and now Mary's here? Why?
Yeah, no, I know. Sam is heavily suspecting the sheriff until he finds him dead. So
No,
that's
but
weird.
this
And
is
suddenly,
This is just like lumbering assumptions.
well, it feels like a cartoon because it's like when someone's dead and then they're suddenly alive again.
Anyway, so this goes on for a bit.
And then
the sheriff is there.
He turns into Al.
And he turns into Al. See, this is what I mean. It's like, how Sam walks into the house and says to Mary, you know what? The sheriff is dead. And Mary says, no, he's in the kitchen. And then the sheriff walks out. We're all freaked out because we're like, how did this happen? And we don't know. And then the sheriff lifts his arm or goes to strike Sam. And Sam catches Al's arm.
The first and only time that he has a physical interaction with Al.
The first time. I don't know if it's the only.
Oh, it's not the only time?
I don't know. There is...
Well,
no,
we're going to... Anyway.
It is the first. It's certainly the first time. There is actually Jill, spoilers. Like there's an episode where Sam actually goes he goes back to the future, and so he might actually get to shake Al's hand. I don't know. I haven't seen the episode. I just know he does it.
Great.
It's like the monkey episode. I know he does it, but I haven't seen it.
And so then we see it's Al who had the telekinetic powers. He locks the door.
He locks the door. He starts making pianos go.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's basically evil Satan man.
He is. Well, he pretty much says it.
Yeah. Why have you been going back and made right what all I made wrong?
And Dean Stockwell is so good at just turning evil like this.
Totes. Have you ever seen Blue Velvet?
No.
He's evil in that.
Nice.
How do you see? And this is what I'm talking about. Look, so when Al shows up, you get to real Al, when you see him show up, and then you compare real Al with Beelzebub, it's like, no, that is what Al wears. Real Al wears good clothes. And evil Al looks like a banker.
Yeah, definitely.
I would never wear that suit, said real Al. So anyway, they have some sort of metaphysical fight. Dalek, would you like to describe the metaphysical fight while I go to the washroom?
Sorry, I've not been
Well, give it your best shot.
Sorry, I've not
Let's see.
I've been silent all this time.
No, it's been
Well,
great.
that's okay. But Scotty's got to go.
I'm going to go to the washroom. So,
Yeah,
do you want to describe the slides that are about to be shown
Right.
to you?
Well, there's going to be a dance with the devil.
There's going to be a dance with the devil. There's going to be like, did you get a slide of the piano?
I probably did. I got a slide of everything.
Nice. Okay, so I'll be back in a second. Jill will help.
I'm helping right now. Putting right what I made wrong. So apparently,
who gave you right to go bumbling around in time? Putting right what I made wrong. It's a great line.
Yeah, it is. And so apparently this is some kind of indication that somebody is causing things to go wrong that Sam is going to put right. And this guy, he's upset about it. And if we're to believe Scotty's theory that this is an evil leaper, then that makes a little more sense. And Sam just says, "I just want to get home. You're not going to make it." And they do the dance.
This is both the best and weirdest scene in the whole episode.
In the whole series, really. What is happening? So we see how scared the real Al was. And so the devil changes into Tully, into the older lady with the candlesticks,
into a goat at one point,
into the sheriff. And then you see that, yes, he was also the goat. And when you see the goat, you know that he was also the cat and also the snake. There's the piano. He's playing the piano at the same time. Very talented.
It is just not. It just isn't. This was just never properly explained what was going on in this episode.
No, but it's over. For some reason, that little dance ended, and Sam wakes up having the only real thing having happened is that he fell down the stairs.
Well, there are two things that sort of pique my interest. One of them being that in the fantasy, real Al shows up and says, "I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't even know where you were. We lost track of you for a little bit, and so I'm late." And that is consistent with the way that Al shows up. And so in the fantasy, he does the same thing, but when Sam wakes up, Al is there for the first time. Okay, so this is all weird. And he's wearing the same clothes in both things. This is so strange. It's so difficult to wrap your head around because I am sure that there is causality to this. This is a disturbance. This is a disturbance based on an outside influence.
Some of it has to be real because otherwise, then how would Sam be able to save Tully from the window?
Exactly. Ziggy is still like there calculating through Sam or through Al. Yes. And Sam does make right what once went wrong. And apparently it was Tully. Although, you know what the funny thing is that when Sam saves Tully, he has the screwdriver in his hand. And I was like, easy, Tully. You might stab yourself in the eye. Like, it's very unsafe. He doesn't know how to handle a screwdriver.
Although in the different timeline or the evil leaper, evil devil timeline, a lot of things happen before the goat pulls on the rag. Here, it just happens right away.
Yeah, the timeline, like in terms of the chronology of the situation, it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's still no goats.
Still, I gotta peel those grapes for the bowl of eyeballs.
Yes. Have you ever done that?
No,
Neither
but
of
it
us.
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
And then we get it. And then we get the usual end of episode twist here.
Yes.
that guy is Stephen King, a young
Yes.
Stephen King.
Well, and I didn't get like Dalek I was mentioning earlier. I'm not much of a Stephen King fan, so I didn't get a lot of the references.
Well, you read some of The Stand too.
Some of it,
And then,
not a lot.
But that's the episode.
That is the episode. Anyway, here's a handsome fella. He's on a bus.
Fella, you say.
oh no.
He's wearing a shirt that I would like to get. Oh wait,
Wait,
that's a dress.
you want to
and-
dress with a poodle?
Yes. One of these days, Jill, I'm gonna dress. One of these October 31sts, I'm gonna dress up as Sam Becket in whatever costume I wish. People are gonna be like, "What are you?" And I'm gonna be like, "I'm Sam Becket."
You're the sugar bell.
It's a great costume, you gotta say. So, do we have any chat?
We do.
Oh, nice.
Just you-
Pardon me.
Edge of Time says, I'm wearing my holiest underwear for the occasion.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. And Jens is here. Hey, hello,
Hey, Jens.
Really great to see you.
Yep, and he never. He's here, and he never shuts up.
Oh no, he's great.
No,
Jens,
he's a jerk. I hate.
So
can't
am
stand
I.
him.
Jens is
Actually-
fine.
I have to, for full transparency, Jens invited me on to defend my soyness after this. So if you'd like to join us for that, we're going to be
Oh, it's
defending
not even
Scott's.
Tuesday.
Why? Is that when the soyness goes?
Yeah, usually soy nerd calling out
Never
soy
heard.
nerds happens on Tuesday nights.
Well, apparently. Anyway,
But
It's-
Jens says maybe Sam had to stop the soy from entering.
maybe. Well, but the thing, wait till we see the next episode, Jens. The next episode is rather soy on Sam's part. The twist at
yeah,
the
go ahead.
end was Scotty wasn't a soy nerd. No, that's too far fetched. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it either.
Everything and everyone is soy, according to you. You goddamn f.
Hey, Dalek, let's
No, but
be a
it's
little
true.
more-
But it's true. It's not an incorrect assertion.
It's not.
So I'm not gonna. No, you're right.
We're just here to
Uh,
have fun.
Yeah, toads. And the thing is, and that's why I'm looking forward to it.
Well, forgive me. I can't stand the guy.
Well,
I
no.
really cannot stand him.
Okay,
and-
I understand.
Well, and Dalek, and that's
Wow.
why I'm looking forward to the conversation. Is just because I like him.
Yeah,
I
I do
disagree
too.
with him. I disagree with him.
I disagree a lot. It's
He
okay
thinks-
to disagree.
He said I was like, was it 70% soy? And I was like, come on.
I don't know. I like edamame, and I'm not afraid to talk about that.
They're salty.
I like
If
it
you
when
make them
they're
right.
spicy.
Oh, spicy edamame?
Mhm. Thank-
Soy.
It is. That's what it is. It's precisely what it is.
Spicy
Good shit.
soy.
By his logic, you can't enjoy anything led by girls ever, even if it's good.
Mhm.
I don't think you know what? I know a couple of people like that I think that about.
Speaking of
And
lead bike girls, but go ahead.
well, and I think now that you mention it, like I could be wrong. It could just be a misinterpretation. I'm sure that the men that I know who call out sort of what is it, the matriarchy or whatever. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's just a different perspective on a similar thought. There's varying levels. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. I don't like anything that guy says because he's into Vietnamese swing fuck chairs. It's okay. We're on the Fantasmagorium, Jill. You don't have to feel self-conscious. This is my show, and I can say whatever I want.
That's true.
Sorry. Okay. So
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Soy, butch, tofu, or pork. It doesn't matter.
Listening to what he likes, and I can disagree, and I can still enjoy his show. And it's
is he still going on?
Yeah, he is. He's here. He said I didn't have StreamYard's stream time, so I have to stream the Calling Out Soy Nerds tonight.
Right. Yeah. Let me know when we're. Come on. Can we finish this? Like, let's move on.
Okay. Let's move on to the next.
We do have a Quantum Leap show. Dalek, do you want to talk about Quantum Leap?
Yeah, let's talk about Quantum Leap.
What you mean? He used up all of his monthly allowance of StreamYard time? Is that what he's saying?
Okay, so the picture you're about to see comes from the original TV guide for this episode. It is.
Is it Scott Bakula?
It's Scott Bakula's head superimposed onto a woman's body.
Oh, no, you won't. What? Oh, Zoom, I am going to... Hang on a second. First things first. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are an artist when it comes to deepfakes, I would like you to deepfake Scott Bakula's head onto every woman that you have ever met. Not Matt.
But anyway, that happened here.
Jill, do you think that Scott Bakula is more attractive as a man or a woman?
I like Scott Bakula as a man, yes.
Right. But do you think that Bugs Bunny was cute as a girl?
Yes. And I would, even though I say that, I do agree with you that they didn't need to do this. Scott Bakula looks great in a dress on his own. He didn't need to be superimposed onto a woman.
Well, no, that is kind of rude.
Yeah, it kind of is.
So anyway.
But for some reason...
Meanwhile, at the back of the bus.
I know, at first I was wondering, what are we doing here? This episode first aired on November 2nd, 1990. It was written by Tommy Thompson and directed by Christopher T. Welch. And
what was this episode called again? Miss something.
Deep South.
Miss Deep South, right?
Yes.
Well, and you know what? I was curious about the title of this episode because I was like, sounds dirty. And this episode is dirty.
Yeah, Sam leaps into Darlene Monte.
Yeah.
Yes, Darlene Monte.
On a Friday.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Some parts of this do get quite dirty. Yeah.
Well, this is. You know what? It took me about half an hour, and I was like, "This episode is woke. This is Me Too."
This episode isn't woke. But
this episode is
Me Too, maybe. But
well, for back
Me Too. I think Me Too and woke are sort of synonymous, so I could be wrong.
Not. That makes no sense.
For the early 90s, for the early 90s, it is perhaps.
But no, it's progressive, but progressive is not woke. Those are two completely different things that should not be confused.
And I understand that, and I don't want to get into the pedantry of the differences, but you can understand how I can find this a sort of a social commentary that is
It is a social
Timeless.
commentary, absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to,
Like not all guys are like the guy who is bad in this episode.
no,
And this episode doesn't presume that.
no.
And if it did, then it would be woke, but it's not. It doesn't do that.
As far as I'm concerned, if a show is addressing a serious issue in a respectful, decent way, it's not woke. It's just there. It's
Commentary.
but if it's screaming the issue down your ear, it is woke.
Yes. Or
I can agree with that.
yeah, definitely. If it's trying to paint somebody as a whole entire group as a villain, and that's not what this does. Anyway,
Well,
I
let's
do
not
wanna get through
hang
the
on.
beginning.
Come on, man. Like the main villain is a white dude.
That's true, but
He's a perv. This entire episode to me made
so
me
is Sam
question. Well, what? Sam
He's
Beckett's not a perv.
no, but he's white and he's a dude.
True, but you know what? I find it amazing whenever Sam finds himself in a lady body, because he has to not only be respectful to, like, he has to conduct himself as a woman. And that's something that he sort of acclimatizes himself to social norms of the time so that he can accomplish his goals. Yes.
Yes.
But also, at the same
yeah.
time, Sam maintains modesty, not only for himself, which I was paying attention to, and others, which I was paying attention to. It's like Sam never peaks. That's Al's job.
Yeah, and he never overplays it either.
No, he doesn't.
He's very subtle and he does a great job. But I do want to get through the beginning of it, the
Please.
intro. I never got through. Sam leaps into Darlene Monte on Friday. On June 7th, 1958 in Louisiana, but Darlene is headed to the Miss Deep South pageant, 35th one, somewhere in Alabama. And most of this episode was filmed at the Los Angeles Ambassador Hotel, which closed in 1989, and it has since been demolished. And the TV Guide synopsis says, Sam, Scott Bakula, gets himself into a real beaut. He's a pageant contestant who must keep a competitor from making a tragic decision. Connie is played by Heather McAdam. Peg Myers is played by Nancy Stafford. Clint is played by David A. Brooks. Vicky is played by Julie Ann Lowry. And the judge is played by Hugh Gillen. And then there's a second TV Guide synopsis. This was the original one that had that picture. Sam Scott Bakula gets himself into a real beauty as Miss Sugarbelle in a Southern pageant. He must prevent a fellow contestant from making a tragic decision that will send her into oblivion. There you go. Now,
Yeah.
this lady's teaching her Sam how to walk.
Right. Exactly. Step and glide, step and glide.
Yes.
That's one of the things I remember about this episode. Step and glide.
Yeah, so does Simone right here. Step and glide.
Yeah, exactly.
So she meets. I hear myself in like an echo.
No, I muted myself. So Sam, the first time that Sam was a lady, Sam had an opportunity to control their own actions, right? As the executive secretary. Remember? First time
Oh,
Sam
you're
was
talking
a
about
lady.
the first time that Sam was a lady. Okay, yes, correct.
Right.
But in this one, it's a competition to be the most lady. And Sam is like, no.
No, yeah, he was totally fine if there was an objective to complete. At this company, I need to do a job, and he was ready
Right.
to do that job.
But if he was just being judged on being a lady, he was like, I'm not.
He's not having fun.
Just he identified as a guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's Clint, the photographer.
He can't. He can never emphasize enough how much he hates doing this every time this happens to him.
Well, don't forget. What was it? It was the one where he showed up and he was in drag for a drug bust.
Right, he thought he had leaped into a woman, but it was
And he was
actually
like,
a male.
no.
And he has a total breakdown over it. Yeah. And then the wig, and then suddenly his wig comes. I'm like, I'm a man.
So yeah, no, Sam doesn't like being a lady.
But he does it well, even though he doesn't like it.
He does do it well. I am firmly of the belief that every time that I have fallen in love with a brunette, it has been Sam Becket who leapt in to do something that had nothing to do with me. And I was just like, let me buy you a donut. So anyway, meanwhile, at the beauty concert, this is so ridiculous. Jill, you're going to have to explain this to me. Do you
I
know
have
anything?
to explain any of this? It's
Yeah,
kind
well, I don't. Like, okay, so we got
what do you need explained? Because
beauty contests.
I've never
All
been
right,
in
I'll
one.
piece it together. Let me see if I can piece it together. So we are at a beauty contest. Sam is
Well, there's not much to really understand.
Darlene. And then the lady is Vicky.
Yeah.
Vicky or Connie? I know we have so many ladies, and Sam is one of them.
Vicky
and
is right.
We're all moving around, and we're trying to make it so that there is something that is going to happen. Well, Al's not even here yet, so.
Well, beauty contests are essentially a way for the contestants to follow their actual life goals, to earn some money for whatever they actually want to do in life. Yeah, you get scholarships, exactly.
So yeah, so everyone's here on a beauty scholarship, and they're friends. These two are friends. What's her name again? Vicky?
Vicky, yes. Well, they're friends, but she had a little speech that she came up with about why she wants to win, and Sam cribbed it because he had no idea what to say.
Cribbed it? Plagiarized.
Plagiarized it, yes. And he apologizes about it, so they're still friends, and she knows he was just nervous.
But, it could be argued, and we'll get there. But yes, this is one of those television moments.
Right. Leave It to Beaver is playing, and it turns out that the episode they play in this episode airs after this date.
Oh, it's an anachronism.
Yeah, but I think it's all right because in this case, the episode they picked kind of talked about etiquette and how to be polite, and so it kind of makes sense.
Wait, what year was this set in again?
Oh, hang on.
50s, 60s, something like that.
58.
58, right.
Hey, June 7th. What day is today?
It's today's. It's June 8th where you are. It's June 9th here.
We missed it. We just missed it. Could have been an anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Maybe next week. See, that's the best part. Every week of Quantum Leap could be an anniversary. We don't know. I wonder if there's a quantum leap on my birthday. Is there a quantum leap on your birthday, Dalek? Hey, everybody in the
What?
chat. If you
Quantum-
can look up an episode of Quantum Leap with your birthday, congratulations. You have a Quantum Leap birthday.
An episode of Quantum Leap on my birthday on the first of October. I don't know. Wow,
That's a good question. I'll have to look into
that's a really good question.
So I don't think I get one. The odds are they're small. So if you don't get one, don't be upset. Just understand that's the nature of nature. So anyway,
Yeah, Sam doesn't allow Al to peek at Vicky, so
oh right.
Al
By the
probably
way,
is.
Al is super pervy in this episde.
He is.
Of course he is. He's practically in his own personal heaven here.
This is true, but when you know what, watching these two episodes back to back, where I had Al the devil, and now I'm getting like back to regular Al, I'm like, maybe you should have been a little more pure in this one, just to get me back to your regular perviness. Like, don't be right so hot out the gate. Anyway, so Three Little Maids of School are we. And there's a talent segment, and Sam
This
can't
isn't
work
even
a
the talent
parasol.
segment. This is just, I don't know what this is.
I don't know what any of this is, but this is the thing, is that I was curious about your perspective on it, because I was like, so he's being objectified and paraded around, and he's getting very frustrated. He has no agency of his own,
Right.
and so I was like, that would suck.
Well, most of the contestants are doing this on purpose. They want to be there, and so they have a goal and they know what they're doing, and he doesn't. So yeah, he's forced into it.
But what about who's the lady that Sam leapt into? She wanted to be there.
Yeah, she wants to be there, definitely.
He's fucking it up.
She's going to be a doctor.
Well, if Sam can save it for her. It is Darlene. I'm proud of myself.
Darlene is going to be one of the first female cardiologists in the country. So.
She's going to save hundreds of lives.
That's why she has to get at least third place.
Yes.
So she can pay for school.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm a big fan of Darlene. I think Darlene is cute too.
She is. There she is. There's your reveal of Darlene.
And I do enjoy sort of the structure of the episode as well, with showing Darlene so that the audience is reminded that Sam is actually Darlene.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I like it because I appreciate Scott Bakula's performance, because I know he incorporates being Darlene into it. Like, he does take on his mirror reflections. I never doubt that he's trying to pull off his mirror reflection. It's great. So when he is a girl, I'm like, okay, this is like when I play Fallout when I'm a girl.
Yes, and I think they also made the reflection appear to be a similar height to Sam, so that it doesn't.
They did weird things with the height. I didn't like the height thing in this episode, now that you mention it.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
She's obviously shorter than Scott Bakula, but there is one that makes her like gigantic against Vicky. Like this. But like they're supposed to be relatively the same height. Same with what's his name? The guy who takes the pictures, Claude.
Clint.
Sure. So anyway, yes. Tie me up? Oh, your hair. Of course.
One thing I missed was Al said earlier he was in flight school. He had a fling with a beauty queen. But he doesn't get to talk about it, really.
Well, this is also an interesting part about when Sam is a lady, is that he is aware of the fact that Al is oogling him all the time, and he's uncomfortable with it.
Yes.
But it's a thing. Which also brings up the question as to whether or not Al sees Sam or sees the Leapee.
It is sometimes hard to tell. Just who is Al really looking at? Is he looking at the face
He's
of the
looking at the
Leapee?
lady.
He's looking at the lady.
Or is
He's
he
looking at the
at it?
person that Sam has leapt into. I think we've established it twice at this point in terms of stop looking at my nipples.
Okay, yeah, he's looking at the girl.
Yeah, he is. I think so.
Established the first time that he was a lady. That was
Here we are. What episode is this? This is in the loop 19, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Al fell in love with Gloria
Al sees
in that
the Leapee. That's who Al sees.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And so here we go. This is where everything goes woke.
Nothing.
Sam. No, it's totally woke because Colonel Saunders here, clean-shaven Colonel Saunders, says, "Is it Sanders or Saunders?" I think it's Saunders.
I don't know. It is. It is kind of. This is crazy.
He says, "What are your measurements, young lady?"
Mm-hmm.
And
but Sam doesn't know her measurements, so he just refuses. So that makes sense. And
well, it's a ridiculous question because if you're in a beauty pageant, they already know.
Right. It's true because you get these costumes and outfits and everything.
She's already been on stage before. We know what your shape is. Mm-hmm. It's a rude question.
The ruder
and that's why I like it when the lady on the panel says,
yeah.
And I like it that there is a lady on the panel, which I don't know. What year is this? 58?
Yeah, 58.
It's generous. Maybe there was a lady on the panel. But
she was.
Oh, did you look it up?
Look what up?
Nothing. But yeah, no, I thought it was, I appreciated the correlation.
She agreed. Yeah, she agrees with Sam that it has no bearing on who she is as a person to get her measurements.
Right.
Oh, nor does this. This was ruder to me. That they have to verify that she's still a virgin. That is worse.
Yes. Prove your virtue. Yeah, no, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
What is that going to do with it?
Nothing. Well, it doesn't. But you know what the thing and the problem with that entire scene is that when Sam.
Oh God, here we go.
No, Sam leans over. Sam leans over to sign it, and I was just looking at Scott Bakula's hairy chest cleavage, and I was like, "I'm glad this isn't a lady." And then, so I'm just saying,
that's what everybody else sees.
Scott Bakula was dressed like a lady, and I was like, you know what? This would be exploitative if it had been a woman.
I suppose so, maybe.
So anyway, speaking of exploiting women, which
is exactly what this guy's doing right here.
This is like, you know what? This scene made me rethink pornography.
Well, Clint is promising her success in Hollywood and all of the terrible lies that people will make in order to, of course, like you said, exploit her, be able to take pictures of her and sell them without benefiting her whatsoever.
Well, I'm sure he promised some sort of financial.
No, he didn't.
Well, he would have paid her $500 or something like that, or the
No, he wouldn't.
1958 equivalent. No, you think he was just stealing her image?
Yes.
Okay. Meanwhile,
That's the perception I get from it.
I thought there would have been some sort of incentive money.
Mhm.
Well, I guess
Maybe.
that's what he was selling. He says it like in dialogue.
Yeah.
He's
Book
this will
dialogue.
expand your career. This will
He's
get you
lying.
exposure. Of
There's no
course he's
proof.
lying.
I didn't see a contract. I didn't see money exchange. I don't know. It's like whatever.
No, it's completely exploitative.
Mhm.
Yes. The guy's an asshole.
In any case, yeah.
Meanwhile,
Either way, he is.
okay, hang on a second. Stop here. Go back one. All right. So this lady plays Dixie on a saw with a violin bow. It's insane. I don't know. I wish I had a clip for it.
Wow.
But it is something that I was like, oh my. Huh.
I'm gonna give her.
She's holding the base of a two-handed saw with her legs, and she's
right.
and so her left hand is holding the other end of the blade.
Is holding down the blade. Yeah.
Now the jagged edge of the blade is towards her.
It is.
But she uses the bow to play the soft edge, and she plays Dixie. If you have an opportunity, I would recommend this performance.
Oh my god! I should have.
This is why I enjoy Quantum Leap.
I should have rewatched this.
Oh, you can rewatch it whenever you want, man.
Yeah.
If I can find it somewhere.
It's on the internet.
It is.
So anyway,
it is great. You're right. It would be a good clip.
Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis is supposed to be in town soon. Don't forget, Jerry Lee Lewis is going to be in town soon.
Is that exciting?
Well, no, it's pertinent to the resolution of the episode.
This bit is so ridiculous.
Oh, right. When they
don't skip over this part.
So what are they doing? Like, so she's Darlene Monte? So Del Monte.
Right. Al knows the lyrics to Cuanta La Gusta.
I really like this song.
And helps Sam with the words.
Quanto.
Yeah, basically Al is leading Sam through this entire song and dance, and he's terrible at it.
Oh, and yeah, no, it's all awful, definitely. Especially when you know that Sam can sing, but for some reason this doesn't work.
But it's so, I know Sam can. Oh yeah, Scott Bakula, he can sing, as we see numerous times throughout the show. But here he just sounds awful. It's just so flat, and he's just some tuneless. He's not even he's not even trying.
But that's why you get don't forget, because what's her name? The older lady. Pageant coordinator Peggy.
Yeah, Peg is good.
So, but yeah, like she's gonna become intricate to the plot later. Like she's also somewhat manipulative to this group of women. Don't you think?
Yes.
All right.
Well, because that she's going through the motions of the business that she has, which is to put on these pageants.
And the reason that Sam is absolutely apathetic to this sort of dog and pony show, he's like, I don't He said it earlier. He's like, I don't understand why my measurements have anything to do with this. I don't know why me dressing up like a banana person makes my value. It's amazing. It's great. Also, he gets to wear these, like, you know what? As a man, the only thing that I miss is not being able to wear lady robes, like bathrobes, because I think they make me look like Captain Picard.
Really?
They show a lot of chest.
Well, that's certainly true. He certainly.
Like, I'm not wrong. I'm weird, but I'm not wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but it is weird.
All right, continuing on with the episode. Sam is wearing a Captain Picard. Actually, he's wearing a Lieutenant Ilea robe, and Vicky is.
She regrets.
She was in a bad place. She was in a bad place. And so we're trying to figure out. Oh, does he? He tries to shame her, and then she gets angry and leaves. Right?
Shame her? No, he
Not really shame her, but warn her.
Yes, warn her. Yes, that's the more appropriate word for it.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
She did. He tried to warn her before this ever occurred that Clint was a bad dude, and not until this happens does she realize that was the case, and she regrets what she did, and she wants to get those pictures back. And she just wants to run away, actually. So
see, this is where it's weird. Go back. This is where it's weird because I had no indication that Darlene was this tall before. This doesn't look like Darlene. And I don't know, like, if what I saw of Darlene before, Vicky apparently is Smurfette. Like, it's the characters that we've seen in the mirrors and everything,
Is it me, or is it my imagination, or did Darlene look older there than she did earlier?
I think it looks like a completely different actress.
Yeah, that's what she doesn't look like the same. She barely looks like the same person.
Like, I don't believe the images of Darlene from before could bend like that. Anyway, meanwhile, this is an incredible. Go back. So there is a montage of Scott Bakula with these women, and they go in many poses. If you have the opportunity, I recommend it, just to see how one man can look incredibly awkward. Actually, it's interesting because when I watched this the first time, I was like, Darlene is incredibly awkward. I saw, like, bless this show, every time I see the character in there, I see Sam the same way Al does, as the leapee.
That's a nice way to see it.
No, it's awkward.
Yeah, it is.
I just wish Sam would do better. Come on, let loose, bud.
He could do better, but he doesn't like the whole thing because he's distracted by Clint being an asshole. And speaking of, Jens Peter says it's the longest episode ever. If women don't want to be judged like a prized horse, don't enter the competition or do a photo session. Well, no, they are all here voluntarily except for Sam. And okay, so damn it, I need a minute.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just going to respond to that myself and say, every day I leave the house, I am walking a beauty pageant. I like to put myself together as a person who participates in society. And so one of the things that I don't do is wear sweatpants in public. And when I say sweatpants, I mean sweatpants with elastics at the ankles. If you use sweatpants in public and they don't have elastics at the ankles, you're cool. But if you have elastics at your ankles when you wear sweatpants, I wish you would wear diapers and just wander the earth aimlessly. Because obviously you don't know how to dress yourself, and you don't know how to present yourself in a way that I could ever respect you. So anybody who goes out in public and wears sweatpants with elastic bands around your ankles, try harder.
They
Thank
won't
you.
be able to. The ability to walk would be impeded if you did such a thing.
And also, I would like to say there's an exception to that rule.
Jens,
The
you are
exception-
you are reaching with that.
Well, okay,
take.
so but I wanted to talk about it because the reasoning is that when you enter this contest, you know what you're doing. Everything is honest. You know that you're in this prize. You're trying to win a prize to get money for school or whatever weird thing you want to do with your life, scholarships, or just one of the girls just wants to be secretary. That's fine too, but what's wrong is what Clint is doing because he's not being honest. So it's actually completely different from the pageant. He's lying, saying that, promising her things that he cannot deliver on. And Sam is trying to tell her, hey, do you actually know this guy? What do you know about this guy? Can he actually do what he says he's going to do for you? And he can't. He's a predator. That's the difference between the pageant and Clint.
Well, and also, this episode doesn't have a romantic involvement for Darlene.
Mm-hmm.
So she is a woman on a mission.
You're right. There's no romantic interest in this episode at all.
Like this episode of Quantum Leap probably meets the Bechdel test.
Yeah. Well, what music is playing here? Because I listened to the one without the good music.
Oh, I'm walking. Look at me, I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. You know that? I'm walker.
Oh, thanks. No, but thank you. I wanted to know. And so this is where Sam calls him out on his deception. He's deceiving the ladies so he's using them for his own purposes and not actually
personal
providing
times.
I get no indication that this is actually a one-on-one transaction where he's actually paying the women for the pictures that they're taking. I get zero implication of that.
I agree.
You never stop, do you, Jens? Ever.
Oh no, he's fine. Whatever. Well, I want to finish the episode and then I want to go through the ends.
Okay.
So, but yeah, he's he is the guy who is taking pictures of the girls who could come up to my rooms. I'll take pictures of you and I'll make you a star. And he basically takes pictures of them and then he sells the pictures. That's what Sam is here to stop.
And if he can also have sex with them, he can.
Well, it's also interesting that we just recently had one of these where Sam was the photographer and he did not take advantage.
Right,
or
he didn't.
Did he?
He didn't, but I think that the photographer did, maybe, possibly, but it wasn't too clear. It seemed like it was a mutual kind of thing, kind of mutual debauchery in that episode. Not predatory like this one.
Oh my God. Jens is like Rowdy Roddy Piper. So anyway.
And so Sam goes after him and says, we're going to take your film and we're going to prove
Yeah, but the thing is that as
This
soon
is
as it,
done.
like, I didn't think he had the incriminating evidence in his bag.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it
They-
was I thought it was between the sheets or between the
That's later.
mattresses.
That's later.
Oh.
She takes it. She finds out that the pictures are on there, that they're Vicky, and then she gives them back to Clint.
Oh, what a bitch.
Exactly.
Well, no, but she feels indebted because of her previous experience.
Mhm.
Indebted? What was the, I don't even know what the affection was.
I don't know. I can't explain. No, that's trying to understand humanity, and I don't exactly understand her motivations for protecting this guy.
Well, he was a good photographer,
True. Yeah, he did his job well. Then there you go.
and she had made her famous, or he had made her famous.
Yeah, she says she didn't have to let him photograph her naked. No, she obviously went along with it.
Well, fun and profit, I
but-
suppose.
But the thing here is that Vicky's getting kicked out of the pageant for having doing this. And
Yeah.
Sam reveals that Peg also did the same thing.
Can you go back one? There we are.
Yeah, sure.
No. I want to see Sam in the dress with the earrings.
What?
Oh, there it is. That's good. When he's fuzzy.
When it's fuzzy? Okay. Okay. Are you okay now?
Okay. Come on, go back. Go back. Go back.
What is
Go back
going
to
on,
it.
Patty?
No, go back to the fuzzy,
I'm trying to get away from
and then go forward. Now go back. Go forward twice. Just play with this for a while. This is
What?
great.
Is
No,
this
you
for,
did-
is it for the YouTube for you?
No, it's like a flip card. It's great.
What are
It's
you?
like,
What are you? What are you
I
doing?
don't know. I don't know. I just like to see it. He's wearing a dress. It's funny.
Okay, Scotty, what is
All right.
going on?
Nothing. We are watching In the Loop. The Fantasmagorium show is proud to present whatever I would like to
And
see.
it really,
So,
and now it really is going a loop here.
But she
So-
explains how the same thing happened to her. Peg, the same thing happened. It just happened. She was taking pictures and it just she
Yeah.
was manipulated.
systemic.
Yeah. And it was
She was one of the people who supported that system.
Yeah, she supports it. She lived it and now she regrets it.
Well, she does help with the resolution, yeah.
She does.
So
She
anyway,
she finally fires Clint. And yeah. I'll send you a copy of the calendar in a month or two. There's no I'll send you $500 so you can live your dreams of not being in a farm town and having kids. It's the calendar. That's all he's offering her is to receive the pictures that he took of her.
well, you know, if she were thinking, she would take 500 of them and then she would sell them on her own in her own distribution. And then she would be Betty Page.
Yeah, if she were smart, she'd say, "This is my image. I own the rights to this." But
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh, but then again,
That's not
that would
brought
get
up.
a little no. Well, and also this is something about getting away from that sort of smut. You don't want to be a part of that.
But-
This is an upstanding individual's show. You wouldn't want to talk about sex work.
That's true, but also in order to fight for the rights to those pictures, it would require a
party?
lot of it would require a lot of money with lawyers and all that she doesn't have.
Well, but luckily they just rip them apart.
Well, yes, they find it like you said between the sheets. And
Sam
kicks
does
them
some
ass.
supernatural, like this is something that is only because Darlene has Sam powers. Is that
Right.
like Sam hangs? What's his name?
I've been calling him Clint the whole episode.
Clint. He hangs Clint out the window, and it's like Darlene would not be able to hold on to Clint. That's not a thing. But he
No.
does. He
Because he's not.
No.
He's not
But
Darlene.
So
but
I'm
he's
just
not
saying
Darlene.
the Leap E does get Sam powers.
Right.
If you're weaker, so I am weaker than Sam Becket. But if Sam Becket leaps into me, he's stronger.
Yes.
That's right.
We're agreed on that?
Everybody sees you, but really, you have all of the martial arts and extra strength that Sam Becket has.
That is amazing.
Right. Exactly.
I think we have just defined a new legal defense. I was being possessed by Sam Becket, Your Honor.
Oh man, trying to wrangle the way through that one.
No, Al. I'm in the middle of a
right
trial. Yes, thank you, Jill, for putting up with everything that we've been talking about. But yeah, no, it's just fun. So anyway, but do you think that, like, how do the superpowers work, Dalek?
What?
Like, look at this.
How do they work? It's not real. If Sam leaps into you, it's not you anymore. It's him, and he looks like everyone around him. They see you, but it's really Sam underneath.
Yeah, right. You cannot play the piano, but if Sam leaps into you, you can suddenly play the piano because
right, exactly.
It's not you anymore. It's Sam. He just looks like you.
Can I play the piano anymore? Of course you can. Well, I couldn't before. I swear, and I wish I had looked this up. I think the applause from this episode.
Balls of fire.
But I think the applause from this episode is from, I think it's stock footage from a movie, but I don't know which movie. I didn't get to look it up.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, hey, I did. So yes, like Dalek was saying, he's singing Great Balls of Fire. Okay, give me just a second.
Take 10. But yeah, he sings Great Balls of Fire, all set up in the episode previous, by saying that Jerry Lee Lewis was going to be in town, or 10 miles out of town. And yeah. But Sam doesn't want to do doesn't want to. So Sam is basically, he has to set the world on fire at this pageant to make it so that Darlene wins at least third place in the beauty pageant. Because if he doesn't, or if Darlene doesn't make third place, she's not going to get her scholarship, and she's not going to be a doctor, and she's not going to be one of the first lady cardiologists in the United States. So this is a priority alongside ensuring Vicky's virtue.
He's actually got to. That's right. He's got to wrestle quite a lot in this episode.
And he does.
He does. And this stock footage, Okay, so
did I say wrestle? I meant juggle.
there was somebody who, I forget who, but they wanted to submit this for an Emmy, but they couldn't do it because of this stock footage. They were like, "Oh, there's stock footage in here. I'm not going to submit it." The stock footage is from the 1980s movie Streets of Fire. The hairstyles are very 70s and 80s. And so that's how you can tell you're not in the right timeline, is the hairstyles. And
I've never seen Streets of Fire, and I never questioned.
I never questioned it either. It just looks like a bunch of people who are just having a good time listening.
Good times, Charlie.
Yeah. I never seen Streets of Fire.
Neither have I.
Great Balls of Fire. Makes sense.
Goodness gracious. So anyway, they list off everybody who's won, and they say third runner-up, and Sam doesn't get it. And he's like, well, that's it. I failed.
But
And
when he realizes
but
he failed,
then
when he realizes he fails, he's worried about Connie, and Al tells him that she's fine. She ends up starting a community theater, and she has a good life, whatever that ended up being.
she doesn't die a junkie.
And what happens, Dalek?
and it turns out yes, he failed to get Darlene into third, but he actually, it turns out she actually won the whole thing.
Yes.
Darlene's gonna be a doctor.
Yep.
Now, I have a question. Sam cries, or
Wait, did that say-
Darlene cries.
Wait a minute. Did that subtitle say 1959?
What?
Yes, 1959's Miss Deep South.
Yeah,
Even
1959.
Yeah, but it's like Cars. You announce them in the year that, like, before.
Right. Okay. So if you win the pageant in 1958, you're Miss Deep South for all of 1959.
Right.
Including, yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my guess. Like, I have no facts to back that up.
But you had a question, Scotty, or something?
I think I did.
Oh, I was curious about it, but well, I wish
So-
Katie could be here to see this. So Sam remembers
Yeah, who's Katie?
His little sister.
Really? Is that really?
Yes.
No way. You are kidding me. Is
No.
that what this is referenced to? Is his little sister?
Yes, he remembers his little sister, and he thinks that she would get a kick out of seeing him win a beauty pageant.
Huh.
And then he leaves.
Yeah, and then he leaves.
That's
To this.
That's
a fight.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I didn't know who Katie was. I was wondering this entire time.
Oh man, the next episode is a really heavy one.
I can't wait.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Well, trust me, it's heavy. It's very heavy.
Who dies?
It's emotional. It's emotional. It's tense. There's like there's a lot of it deals with a lot of, well, to be honest, it deals with a lot of the same kind of issues we're seeing dealt with today.
This episode. Yeah, so I can see how Quantum Leap is very 90s progressive. And this episode, and I guess next week too.
Yeah, especially with this episode, both this episode and the next one. Yeah, because for a start, I mean, you have neither of you have seen the next episode yet.
No.
I don't remember it.
Well, slight spoiler. In the next episode, it turns out Sam has leapt into a black guy again.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
Yes.
it only gets worse from there. A lot worse.
Well, I don't think leaping into a black person has to be.
If I got
bad.
leapt into Ernie Hudson,
But I do understand that the episode is going to be dramatic, and so that is what we get.
It's gonna be dramatic. It's gonna be it's gonna be very very. I guess for back then heavy-handed, but I think I suppose you could see the, for no better word, politics of the time, shall we say? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word or.
Well, I guess we'll find out next week.
Or
You've got
tensions
me
of
interested.
tensions of the time. We'll play
Social
we'll play,
commentary.
yeah,
Social
again, social
So we'll
commentary of it will play out in the background for most of the episodes. So if it plays out almost right from the beginning.
Well, and one of the things that I really like about Quantum Leap is obviously it's the performance of Scott Bakula, the interaction with the friendship with Dean Stockwell's Al.
Yes.
I kind of feel a little ripped off this week because
Why?
because it was all Al is the devil.
Well, that was just one episode.
I know, but I only got 50% Al this week.
That's true.
So
okay, I didn't see much of Al in these 2 episodes.
So anyway,
but we got so much Al in the previous several
It's true.
episodes. I think we were spoiled a bit, and so when
Maybe.
he steps back a bit, then it's very obvious.
Yes, I'm going through withdrawal of Al. But yeah, I do enjoy it, and I like the parable. I like the social commentary when it comes.
Yeah, me too.
I
think it's well done in the show.
Yeah, I don't think it's heavy-handed because it's all through the perspective of. So what am I here to do? It's very specific.
Yes.
And it is something that it's like, save this person. Make sure that this doesn't blow up. Make sure that this doesn't die. Like, that's basically what Sam Becket has been doing this entire time, is trying to make things okay. And it's been well established. He's not there to reroute missiles. And
right, he's not supposed to change anything that has too much of an effect on history.
He's not. No. Sam's not. He's not supposed to change major historical events. He's only supposed he only changes the world in small ways, where save someone's life and they can go on to have a better life, or they'll stop them making a terrible mistake which will ruin their life forever, or something like that.
Or he also makes small or sometimes considerable influences on culture.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Peggy Sue, remember, for example.
He invented the twist.
Yeah,
well, in the first episode,
great.
he even though I don't know if this timeline actually
Well, it
occurred.
didn't. Well, maybe he didn't. Well, he met Chubby Checker, but which actually was Chubby Checker. It was the real Chubby Checker in that episode.
That's
I know.
He taught Michael Jackson the moonwalk.
He did. I forgot about that.
Right. None of these things actually make any sense.
No.
Because the show completely ignores the butterfly effect, where if you make any changes, they could have substantial.
Well, and also, which brings us back to the
but it's okay.
The fun of the situation. It's just a TV show. Come on. I don't want to make fun of it. I want to enjoy it. I want to.
Well, I don't mind making fun of it a little bit, but yes, I will enjoy it also.
Well, there you go. So I would like to ask everyone in the or I'm not going to go through the Yen's chat because I'm going to go over to Yen's channel.
You're going to talk to him. Okay, so I go through it then. Okay, so
you going to do it?
Let's see. Well, not all of it. Just whichever one.
You're the doc.
She is a nice girl. And
yes.
Jens Peter says, Sam Becket doesn't watch She-Hulk. That's not going to fly, Scott. And so that's if you want to go to Jens' channel and watch his soy nerd calling on all soy nerds, then that's an example of what he'll be talking about.
Great.
It's the episode where he leaps into the soy nerd with the depression issue.
Sounds like a show I'd like to watch.
I can't tell. I can't tell when he's being serious or when he's kidding.
I enjoy all of it as if he's kidding. Jens Peter says, I like it when Sam leaps into a soy nerd and then has to man them up before he can leap.
He
Which
does
is-
that a lot of the time.
Which okay, is I admit that's true. He does do that quite often.
Yeah, he makes, like, when Sam leaps into a soy, he makes that soy fist fight.
Jens says,
He
thanks,
does,
Jill. You're
yeah.
welcome.
Or do a roundhouse kick.
Or a roundhouse kick. Come on. That's, you know what? If I ever do a roundhouse kick, I'm gonna blame Sam Becket.
Well, it is true. He has done things like that. That is true. There have been several episodes.
Scott, what happened? I did a roundhouse kick. I think I was taken over by Sam Becket. So yeah, I'm gonna give both of these episodes a recommend.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I recommend all of Quantum Leap. It's a fun series to watch.
Yeah.
It makes you think about your own life and how you can be a better person. And
It really has a good
what more
soundtrack.
do you want? Sometimes, every once in a while, you're lucky enough to get some science fiction, or you can read into some of the episodes and insert the science fiction concepts that you think may be occurring.
Yeah, or you get to learn learn about some very important moments in history, and the real significance of those moments.
Right. And hopefully it encourages you to go look to external sources about those historical moments, because they may not be portrayed entirely accurately within the episode.
So, Dalek, do you have anything that you would like to promote?
Well, I suppose there's my channel. Yeah.
You have a channel.
Yeah. I have a channel.
Nice.
I do. Yeah. So anyone watching this, please go to my please Dalek for easy enough to find Dalek 451. Please go subscribe. I mainly do live streams talking about just about anything in pop culture. I sometimes do reviews, and recently I've been playing games. So please go check me out.
Well, and also I was kind of hoping, because it's the 60th anniversary on November 23rd, right?
Oh yeah, of Doctor Who, you mean?
Yeah, I was hoping.
Yeah,
I was hoping to do a
it's
review of the 50th anniversary with you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you brought that up, Day of the Doctor. Yeah, well, sure. That would be great to do that. Yeah.
We don't have to do it in November, but it would be an idea.
I mean, it would be fitting if we did it in November, but
I'm willing to wait.
But if we could do it sooner,
it's up to you, man. I'm putting you on the spot on the live streams. Anyway, and
if we did do it, whose channel would we do it on? Yours, Jill's, or heck, even mine?
Not mine.
I think it would be appropriate to do it on yours. I just want to do it. I want to talk about Doctor Who's 50th anniversary with you. I can't say on the internet. I just want to do it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All of a sudden. Anyway, but yeah, so thank you. And Jill, you are on Antiderivative
I am.
I'm
here. Subscribe to Antiderivative if you like science fiction, because I love it and I want to see more of it. I haven't seen it all, and I want to explore it with you, and we will find out fun things together. But sometimes I do rewatch things I already love, like Star Trek, the original series. On Tuesdays, I talk about it, and we're on season 2. The next episode we're talking about is the Deadly Years, so everybody's going to get old, and it's going to be fun.
Delightful.
And tomorrow I have a Friday show where sometimes I'll talk about a movie or episode, and tomorrow I'll talk about a UFO episode. And also Tony.
Oh, great! More Jerry Anderson stuff.
Yes. And Tony will also be there, and we'll talk about some flying cars. So I'll also talk about some real science and how it correlates to science fiction.
I will also be there, and I'm probably just going to be pot shots in the back seat.
Can't wait.
Yay!
No, great. You know your stuff when you get down to it. So
I do my best. I'm curious at when I'm most gracious. So anyway, thank you, Jens, for being here. I appreciate Edge of Time. You're the bestest. Matt G. Simone.
yeah,
I adore you with the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns. And you may touch my black hole whenever. Don't know what that means, but it's provocative. So I guess, hey, Dalek.
Before we go, I just gotta say to both of you, Scotty, Jill, thank you very much for having me on. This was just what I needed. I feel so much better after this, because after what happened earlier, which I don't think I shouldn't go into here.
No,
but again, thank you very much.
This is what Quantum Leap does, man. We're just supposed to hang out, enjoy. Entertainment is for entertaining, and I'm glad that you were here. Like, it's good to see you. I trust you, and you're a good friend.
Yeah,
so
you're welcome, Dalek.
There's only one thing that you have to say.
Oh boy.